Hey, what's up? It's Comic95, the Savior, and for this video, I am going to talk about 13 brutally honest reasons why basically you shouldn't fetishize after Japanese men. Now, before I get started, I know I've already lost a ton of you by the title alone and by what I just said. I want to clarify because a lot of people, 1, cannot listen, 2, cannot comprehend, and 3, have a fetish, and thus what I'm saying is going to go right through one ear, straight out the other. And I've already made videos talking about this before, but I want to again clarify myself because people don't like to listen. No, this is not a video attacking Asian men. No, this is not a video trying to get you to hate people of a particular race. Hello, I'm a black woman, the most hated person on earth. With that said and done, my intentions are not bad, negative, whatever. I also live in Japan. Asian people make up the majority of people in the world. I'm not super concerned about being offensive towards the majority, like what? And on top of that, again, this video is not to attack Asian people based off of features or anything else like that, but rather to help you realize that you do indeed have a fetish. I get messages and comments from people all the time, both black people, white people, and even other Asians, surprisingly enough, in which people try to defend their reasoning for liking Japanese men over their own or other races. And it's okay to date outside your race. Hello, look at me. I have personally mostly dated people of other races at this point. But with that said and done, you do want to keep in mind that the person that you're dating is human. There's nothing wrong with, again, dating outside your race, but there is an issue when your reason for dating outside your race is based upon a fetish. Long story short, I've already made several videos talking about fetishes recently. But if you are someone that hasn't watched those videos and don't really understand what I'm getting at, if you have a list of reasons why you specifically want a Japanese boyfriend, husband, whatever, you have a fetish. There's absolutely nothing normal about that. The only way you would not have a fetish is if you were to simply be dating somebody because you like them as a person. The moment that you walk into a relationship saying, oh, I like Japanese men because they have this personality, they look like this, they act like this, they work like that, you're automatically screaming, I have a fetish. But that's between you and God. I don't care about what you do. I'm just telling you that you do. So you don't need to try to argue and prove your point to me. Again, that's you and your relationship. I'm just telling you that you should probably think about that. I've been in your shoes. I'm not speaking to you from the outside, whatever. I have definitely been in your situation. I talked about my own experiences with myself fetishizing after Japanese men. I've been 100% honest about that. I talked about my experiences being a young college student, high school student, whatever, and dating in Chicago back when I lived in the US, which if anybody that lives in a major city, you know that there are tons of Asian people that obviously live there because of the universities that we have in our major cities. So with that said, because this can go on forever, again, this video is not to attack them, not to hate them, but rather to help you, the non-Asian person, or shall I say non-Japanese person, realize that you do have a fetish. If you are not Japanese, it doesn't matter if you're from India, if you're from whatever other country, liking somebody of a specific ethnic group, from a specific race, specific country, based off of stereotypes is fetishizing them. That would be the US equivalent of me saying, oh, I like dark-skinned men because they're strong and muscular and they're manly, unlike light-skinned guys. Now, sure, I can get away with that. I am black and I am light-skinned, so what you gonna say to me? But anybody within the black community would realize red flag all over that. You're stereotyping and, in a way, fetishizing within my own race, if you will. I am equating dark skin with being masculine and manly, and light skin with being feminine, not masculine, and thus not attractive to me. So when you, as a non-Japanese person, do that same thing, there's an issue. Then there also is the spectrum of colorism. I've also seen people say, oh, like, I like their, pale skin or whatever, which I don't know where you got that from. How are they pale? But that's off subject. Again, this can go on forever. I'm already 5 minutes into the video. So yeah, you get my point. This is simply to explain to you what real Japanese men are like. Not anime, not TV shows, to show you or tell you what it's really like. So I've already wasted 5 minutes. Let's get into it once again. Please keep in mind that I'm going to speak to you blunt like you're my friend. I'm not going to sugarcoat things and be politically correct. I'm going to tell you exactly all the crazy thoughts inside your mind, all of the stupid reasons why you think you need and or want a Japanese boyfriend, husband, whatever, and basically debunk them for you and make you realize that everything you thought or saw is a lie. So, let's get started. Okay, number one, Japanese men aren't anything like anime or J-drama, whatever type characters. And really, this video can go for Asian men, period. But specifically, I'm talking about Japanese men that are born, raised, and live in Japan and not an Asian American in the US. As I've said before, if the person that you're dating is an Asian American, that is the US equivalent of a white guy trying to date a black girl and looking up videos from some chick in Africa talking about what girls are like in Congo. And it's like, sure, we're all black and we're African, but they have a completely different culture than black Americans. So you're not getting the right advice. And that's kind of racist. You're assuming it because they're Asian, that they're not the same as you. They're just as American as you are as a black person. But back on topic, because you may or may not even be black watching this video. So, yeah, they're not like how you see inside books, anime, whatever. It is a completely different dynamic as far as dating goes here. Their culture is way different. I have no idea why, anime, J-dramas, whatever, work that way, but it's totally fantasy. I can guarantee you that you're not going to find some Sasuke, Sashomaru, Inuyasha type guy. Like, the closest you'll get to that is the fact that most people on average, let me not get into that because I'm skipping ahead of myself, but long story short, communication can be similar to how those characters are, but aside from that, there's pretty much nothing in common with that. Like, everything that you think you like based off of TV shows and books and, manga, anime, whatever, you're not going to get that here. I can guarantee you that. And on top of that, of course, these are not realistic looks for Asian men either, which is really weird. Of course, J-dramas, those are real Asian men, but when you look at anime, etc., like, guys, like, Japanese men don't run around here with white and pink hair, etc. And the ones that do are not attractive, might I add, and they're a little bit crazy. But that's another story. We're not going to get into that. Let's keep it going. Number 2, Japanese men are not romantic. Once again, I'm generalizing. I'm telling you what most people are like. Yes, there's that exception to the rule. You can find a guy that is romantic, that does like, the little mushy whatever type things. But I can guarantee you that the average guy, like 9.9 out of 10, do not like the super mushy romantic type stuff. It's embarrassing for them. Will they do it for you? Yes, some guys will. But trust me, the little things that'll make you happy here, it's completely crap compared to what a guy in the US will do for you. So if you think you like romance from, watching Sailor Moon, and you think you're gonna find a guy that's gonna treat you like Tuxedo Mask or whatever you have inside of your mind, ballroom dancing, that is not real life. Number 3, Japanese men are workaholics. Once again, stereotype, generalization. Of course, there are guys that don't work a lot. There are guys that go straight home at the end of the day. There are exceptions to every rule. I'm speaking to you in general. Most guys here work a lot, and that's because they work a lot. They don't have a lot of time for you or any of the stuff that you want to do, whether it be dating, sex, whatever. Yeah, you're going to miss that. Number 4, once again, exceptions to every rule. Different people think and feel differently, but cheating here is pretty much socially acceptable and expected. So I would argue that most people here do cheat and or have cheated. It is very, very common for guys to normally go out to bars, strip clubs, etc., host clubs with their boss, with their friends, etc., and nothing is really thought of it. And a lot of people here, if you ask them, they actually don't think that it's cheating to have sex with somebody as long as emotions are not involved. So for example, if they are having sex with a prostitute, sex worker, whatever, they don't see it as being cheating. And basically, as long as they don't get caught, it didn't happen. That's how most people feel and think. Whereas in the US, we know that it's wrong. Of course, our goal is to still hide it and not to get caught. But here, like, girls don't even, like, really ask. Like, they're just, I hate the stereotype, I'm just being real. It's more like the, well, at least he comes home to me type thing, even if it is 3 days after he should have came home to me. So, and a lot of girls here just cheat back. So that's another story, though. We're not going to get into that. And again, exceptions to every rule. I'm not saying what every relationship is like. I don't need to hear your story. I'm trying to help you realize that all of the crazy stuff you think inside your mind about how, oh, Japanese guys are so perfect, it's all so fake, all so wrong. And you are, I won't even say rose-colored glasses, but you have a fetish and your thinking is just not clear. Number 5, a lot of Japanese men are alcoholics. Oh my god, I cannot tell you how many people that I have dated that drink heavily all the time for pretty much every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and multiple drinks a day, which to me screams cancer, all type of different problems that you might have, liver issues, etc., which I've had family members that die from that, and that seriously freaks me out. So yeah, socially acceptable to drink. Alcoholism isn't really a thing here. It's totally okay to have these problems, and people don't really see it as an issue. Like, you have to be a really, really, really hardcore drunk, like always drunk type person, like where you can't carry yourself and you're angry and violent, in order for people to really see you as an alcoholic here in Japan. Number 6, Japanese men are sexist. Yes, I said it. A lot of guys here expect for you to do specific things simply because you are a woman. A lot of guys also think that you can't do things because you are a woman. A lot of men also expect for you to do specific things because you are a woman. There's a lot of super sexist type things that you'll hear guys say to you on dates. I told you guys a while back in a video, I literally went on a date with a guy, and when he asked me if I knew how to cook, I naturally asked him back, do you cook? And he literally laughed at me and said, of course I don't, I'm a guy. And I literally like lost it. Like I was thinking like, what did he just say to me? And so I told my mom, and then she was like, if you eat, you better know how to cook, whatever. So again, I'm not even getting into my own 2 cents on that. I have nothing against people that want to be housewives, stay-at-home mothers. I personally like cooking for my own boyfriend, but again, just to hear that come out of someone's mouth and for it to not be a joke, like they were being 100% real. So yeah. Number 7, Japanese men are racist. Now, keep in mind, this is not the same racist that you deal with like in the US, where people walk around saying, oh, like I hate, N-word, whatever. No. The racism here is more subtle. It's more beliefs. So for example, you will find normally when you date somebody, hang out with them, naturally for some strange reason, pretty much just about everyone that I've dated, we somehow get on the topic of talking about South Asians and talking about Chinese and Korean people. And of course, what's followed by it? Super racist, super ignorant stereotypes about them, between being liars, dirty, thieves, ruining, this tourist area, whatever the case might be. And they really don't see it as being racist. Also, the fact that Japanese people feel like they're superior to other Asians, etc. Now, of course, you with your stereotype, not stereotype, you with your fetish, you agree with that, but that's an issue within itself, and that should be problematic. And to be honest, especially if you happen to be black, or he might not say anything to you, realistically, he probably thinks racist or did bad things about you before you guys met, and he probably just stopped saying these things because now he's dating you. So do keep that in mind. And to be honest, especially if you happen to be black, Chinese, Korean, or from some South Asian countries such as the Philippines, they probably either believe and think negative and bad things about you based on your race, and possibly even said ignorant, negative, stereotypical, offensive things about you before you guys started dating, and you best believe if you break up, you will go back to believing these things. So again, not everyone. I'm telling you how most people think, and if they don't, their friends and their family more than likely do. And of course, they're Japanese. They're not going to be honest with you and tell you that because it's just the way that culture goes here. They don't want to make themselves look bad, understandably. But we're not going to get into that. I can make a whole video on that. And I will. Number 8, Japanese men are frugal. If you are someone that likes to be a big spender, you like to go shopping, buy things, etc., you can meet guys that do like to spend a lot of money, like my boyfriend. But generally speaking, most guys here are very, very frugal, very, very cheap, do not like to spend a dime, even if they have it. I have literally, I would say the majority of the people that I've dated, other than, of course, getting food, etc., they're not big on spending money on other things, like clothes, furniture, whatever. They want to be very conservative, and it's like they just save money just to save it for no real reason, like for some rainy day that just never comes. So, yeah, if you're someone that likes to spend money, you dream of this lavish lifestyle life, whatever, unless you're legitimately marrying like a billionaire or something, I can almost assure you that you're not going to be in a relationship where, this guy's just gonna throw money at you and do whatever you say or want. It might last at the beginning to impress you, but that will fade and go away if that's what you have in mind. Number 9, Japanese men seemingly value everything over their partner, their friends, their family, their job. Everything comes before you. You are literally last on the list. It's a cultural thing. I don't mean this in an offensive whatever way. Like I said, I can go back and forth and over explain myself, but again, it's a cultural thing. Their job comes first. They don't care what's going on with you. They don't care. I mean, even if you're dying, to be honest, as I said before, I've literally met people, including, my own boyfriend, whose mother, is dying of cancer, and it's not they don't care and don't love them, but they recognize their job is more important to them. So they're not going to jeopardize losing their job to go to a funeral or to see somebody, sick and dying in the hospital. They will ask for time off, but if it's not given to them, it's just like, oh well, it's life. It's basically how it's treated here. Again, exceptions to every rule. People work different jobs. People have different feelings. People are individuals. But overall, most people feel like everything else in life comes before their wife or girlfriend. Number 10. Japanese men are not empathetic or sympathetic. Again, cultural thing. People do not like to have the, oh, pity me, feel sorry for me type thing. When you do something wrong, you fuck up, it's pretty much expected that your relationship is over. There's no going back. There's no, I'm sorry I did this wrong type thing. Again, exceptions to every rule. I've gotten into it with my boyfriend a gazillion times. But generally speaking, including pretty much all of my exes, yeah, we get upset, we get into a fight one time, that's it. And I'm not even talking about like physical violence, like some crazy girlfriend throw stuff, smack you type thing. No. I mean just a disagreement, verbal argument, canceling of plans, anything. You do one thing wrong, there's, a zero tolerance, no strikes policy. You do one thing to make your partner upset, they are done. There is no communication, and they will not feel sorry for you. It's just, oh well, too bad, you should have been perfect. Number 11. This one's gonna sound really bad, but once again, being honest, and no pun intended, but they can be very dishonest. Japanese culture pretty much prides itself in not being direct and thus being polite. So with that said, people would not normally tell you the truth about anything unless you find out directly yourself, and even then they will try to lie, cover it up, etc. I've literally dated guys where I had a feeling they were cheating on me, but I was like, no, they're not cheating, and then even when I find out and confront them, they insisted it was not cheating, and then I do my crazy FBI searches and I find out, oh, you did lie to me, you did cheat, and they will never come clean to you. Instead, it becomes, oh, well, I did this because you did that, and you made me feel this way, and I thought this, and it's not that, and why are you looking through my stuff type thing. And you might say, oh, it's like how American guys are. No. It doesn't just stop there. I mean, with everything. They will lead you on, do whatever it takes to get inside of your pants, and not feel sorry about it. There's a lot of fuck boy, fuckery, whatever you want to call it, that goes on here in comparison to the US, in my own personal opinion. So again, not everyone, but a lot of guys are definitely like that. Number 12. Once again, I cannot say this in any type of way where it doesn't come off as racist, rude, whatever, but I'm just gonna say it how it is. Japanese men can potentially not be the best sexual partners. It is for several different reasons. Let's, address the elephant in the room. It's not everybody, but I will say a lot of guys here do have smaller dicks, and I'm not talking about just a little bit. I mean very much indeed smaller, where it cannot be felt in comparison to American Western guys, period. Possibly. Is it everyone? No. Just like how not every black guy has a big dick. Not every black girl has full lips and a fat ass. Okay. With that said, same thing goes for Japanese guys. I've definitely been with men that are well endowed, but at the same time, I've definitely been with guys where it's like, I cannot have that type of dick for the rest of my life. So, not trying to get TMI, get whatever, but I'm just being real with you. Besides just that, a lot of guys are very creepy, sloppy, virgin, like, where it's like, dude, like, I can tell you must have never had sex before, because this is awful. I have had absolutely horrible sexual experiences with people, and the reason why I'm saying is not to say that everybody in the US are like these expert fuckers. It is rather to say I think a lot of people view them as being these sexually advanced porn stars, know exactly how to make you feel good type people. Now, I won't lie, the best sex that I have had has been in Japan. Now, with who, that ain't none of your business. But anyway, I will say that for those of you that think, oh, sex is going to be like this, you've been reading too much yaoi, watching too much, anime, reading too much manga, watching too much porn, hentai, whatever, that is definitely not what most people here are like. So, yeah, definitely throw that out the window. It ain't real life. It's not real. Is everybody a bad partner? No. But beyond that, guys can even be selfish here too, which we're not going to get into that, but let's just put it this way. There are a lot of guys that aren't into pleasing their partner, making them feel good, don't care about, getting you off. It's just about themselves. So keep all of that stuff in mind. If you want to be a slave to your boyfriend, husband, because you have a fetish so bad, go ahead, do you. You're going to do you anyway after you're done watching this video. But don't say I didn't warn you. Also, keep in mind that a lot of guys here, I won't say that they don't like sex, but I can't explain. I don't want to say this because I have mixed feelings. I don't feel like they literally don't like sex and don't have a sex drive, but I feel like sex is less important to Japanese men, if that makes sense. I feel like Japanese men talk really horny to you and act crazy when they don't want a relationship, but when you're in a legitimate relationship with someone, I feel like they don't like having sex as often as people do in the US, for example. From my perspective, when I dated just about everyone, it seemed more like I was the guy in a relationship, and it was like I was looking forward to having sex. Whereas in the US, I won't say my partner wanted it more than me. I probably still wanted it more than my ex then too. But we were definitely more on the same page. And I'm getting too much in my business, but I'm trying to be real with you. And last but not least, number 13, Japanese guys can be abusive and neglectful. Once again, going back to what I said earlier, the Sasuke type. Yes, you can have guys that treat you like total crap, talk down on you, curse you out, make you feel bad about yourself, insult your weight, insult your looks, compare you to other girls, say what they want you to dress like, and not care about texting, calling you, come back late, disrespect you, whatever. So again, the purpose of this video is not to say, oh, other guys in the other countries don't do the same thing. It's only Japanese guys. No, I'm trying to help you realize all of the things that you think you like about Japanese men are fake. They do the same crap that men in the US do, the same crap that men in Europe do, the same crap that men anywhere else in Asia do. It's all inside of your mind. In fact, if anything, it's a lot harder to date Japanese guys than it is to date guys from your home country, because between the language barrier to cultural differences to, of course, the fact that just different personalities in general, it's a lot harder. Stuff that you wouldn't normally put up with your boyfriend in the US, you're going to have to decide. Am I going to, be understanding because of cultural differences, or am I going to say, F it. I can get better if I go back to my home country. I know that this will be easier. I know that I can live the life that I want, whatever the case might be. As I said at the beginning of this video, this is not to discourage you from dating outside of your race. I highly suggest it, actually. I think that it's great. I think interracial relationships are just as beautiful as same-race relationships. But at the same time, you do need to keep in mind that you are dating a human being and not an anime character, not some, J-pop or J-drama star. This is a real person, not some manufactured, made-up, imaginary drawing or made-up character made to be acted on some TV show. This is a real man with real feelings, real needs, and you have to decide, are we a match? Are we not? I know that unfortunately I stepped on a lot of people's toes by making this video, but those are all 13 of my points and their reasons. And again, as I've said a million times already, I hate over-explaining myself. The purpose in this video is to address the fetishy comments that I keep seeing people leave in my videos, in which they keep trying to defend racist, bad behavior that guys do, and by saying, oh, well, Japanese guys are perfect, or I really want a Japanese boyfriend, it's been my dream, I want to come to Japan, I like J-drama, I like K-pop, whatever the case might be. And it's like, I was in your shoes too. I'm not speaking to you on my high horse. I'm telling you that I came here being stupid just like you, and I got my heart broken because I was dumb like that. I was desperate. I was willing to date anybody solely because of their race. I went through this back in the US too. I am 100% honest with you about how I felt, but I'm telling you that I had to change the way that I was feeling and change the way that I was thinking and realize I am dating a man. I'm dating a guy that is potentially capable of playing me, lying to me, cheating on me, and everything else in between, and being abusive towards me. So don't be stupid, don't put yourself inside of bad situations, and be so desperate to have some Japanese dick. I promise you there are good guys here. I promise you there are good, if not better, guys in your home country. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you go. There are bad people everywhere. I'm not saying that Japanese guys are worse or superior to any other race, but rather explaining to you why having a fetish is stupid, because the person that you're dating is human first and foremost. And again, there are cultural differences, so don't think, well, your list is just stuff that it can happen anywhere. While it does sound bad, once again, let me just put it this way. Think about it. It's a stereotype for Japanese people that Americans are very romantic, very outspoken, and kind of rude because of that, because we say what we think. Is it entirely true? No. For example, in the US, I am not very direct when I talk to people myself. And now that I've come here to Japan, people think that I act Japanese. But as I've already said in several other videos, it's really just because I'm Christian and my own personality. I don't like to do that. I think about myself. I wouldn't want somebody to talk to me or treat me that way. So I try to treat you how I would want to be treated. And I'm reserved and conservative with my opinions. This is my YouTube channel so I can talk to you guys how I want to. But in real life, no, I keep my mouth shut. That's just how I am. It has nothing to do with Japan. My mother is like that, and I got it from her. So, with that said, yeah, you really have to keep that in mind, that most people in America are romantic. Most guys and girls are romantic. And no, they might not be the romantic type where they buy you flowers every day, do whatever. But we show each other that we love each other, whether it be through sex, through talking, through saying it, through going on dates, doing stuff together, and those type of things are expected. It is extremely uncommon and rare for a guy to give you flowers, buy you cards, get you chocolate, take you out on these nice honeymoon romantic type dates. It's just not a thing here. Can you find guys that do it? Yes. And as a foreign girl, he will normally try to change his personality to meet your needs, thinking that you want these things. My own boyfriend is guilty of doing this. So again, exceptions to every rule. Every guy's different. Every relationship is different. I don't care about yours. I'm simply telling you what most people are like. If your relationship is great, if your man is great, clap, clap. Good for you. Nobody asked. This video is to help and explain to people why they have a fetish and why their fetish is stupid. Because all of your reasons, your little checklist for why you like Japanese men more, because their personality suits you better, is a fetish and it's stupid. You're also discrediting the fact that people are capable of not acting like how you have assumed that they do, despite the fact that you've either never lived in Japan, spent very little time here, and or cannot speak Japanese, which is very interesting that you came to the conclusion as an adult that's either close to my age or older than myself that you already know that you're so in love with this entire race of men, that they're just so perfect. You're gonna find your husband here. So that's that. I'm done. I hurt your feelings enough. Didn't mean to. Sorry. Want it to be real, but whatever. Everything makes people mad nowadays. So yeah, you disagree, leave a comment. Let's argue. Let's dispute this. Either way it goes, please leave me a like, comment on this video if you enjoyed it, and I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and you can add me on Snapchat and like my Facebook page as well. If you want to check out my other videos on dating in Japan, I have a playlist on my YouTube homepage that you can check out, and if I can remember, I will put it in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.